Well, good morning. What I've got here is a clutch motor off an industrial sewing machine. And you can see down here it says Scott. The problem that I'm having with this sewing machine, with this motor, is it spins the wrong direction. So my sewing machine goes in the wrong direction and it doesn't work. So I got curious, I went on YouTube and I found a number of things to look at, but nothing really stuck out as being simple to reverse the direction of this motor. But I came out here this morning, I took out two screws, one here, one here. We open this up and we see some wires down there. But more important, we'll look at it right now. In case you can't tell the colors, this one is gray, this one is red. Okay, so again, let's see where I can get a focus. There are two wires on this one screw, gray and red. There are two wires on this screw. They're black and white. We ignore all the wires that are down here on the bottom for now, and we look on the inside. And on the inside it says, if rotation clockwise or counterclockwise, please change as follows. So it shows, if you look at the arrow, if you look at the brackets on the left hand side, it shows that gray and red go together, and it shows that black and white go together. So all you do is reverse them. I've got red and gray, black and white. And we'll look down here again. I've got gray and red, black, no. Okay, white and black. That's all I need to remember for now. I have white and black. I wish I could get a little more light on the subject here. So I have white and black. So if we look at the right hand side of this little schematic, well, that's white and red. If we look at the left hand side, white and black are together, red and gray are together. So all I have to do to reverse the direction is to change them to the right hand side and put white and red together and black and gray. So I'm going to put white and red together. I'm going to put white and red together, and you can see that white and red are on two separate terminals right now. I'm going to put white and red together, black and gray together, and see what happens. It's going to take a little monkeying around. So I'm going to turn this off and turn it back on. Okay, I had to take the screws completely off so you can see that the terminals have complete circles on them. Not terminals, the wires. The wire connectors have circles on them, so you can't just loosen up the screw and pull it out. So now that I've got them separated, I'm just going to switch them around. I probably can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. So ultimately what I want is, I think, white and red. Stay over there, white and red, and then black and gray. And we'll go over here, look down inside. And try to see what that says again in this darn light. There we go. Come on, focus. white and red. I'm looking at the figures on the right hand side of the schematic. So I will put white and red together. Okay. Okay, so now I reversed it. I've got white and red on one screw, black and gray on the other. Now, all we have to do, I'm going to set this camera down, plug in the power, and there we've got power. Now we'll hit the power switch, and we've got power. Now, this is upside down from the way I need it. So when I pull on this lever, it should go counterclockwise now. It is. Oh my goodness, how easy is that? Bingo. Nothing to it. Changing the direction that pulley travels, changing the direction of rotation is as simple as taking two screws out of the side, pull the cover off, take two screws off of here, move those four wires around, and now I can use this machine. I already had this engine secured to this table. The table is upside down right now. I was going to put this big old Singer clutch motor on it, but it doesn't fit very well. I don't have the proper frame, the proper mounts, motor mounts. I've got the proper motor mounts on this machine. You can't see it very well, but that's a rubber motor mount. So right now, I am ready to rock and roll. I'll throw this back on, take the black Singer off of there, flip the table over, and start the sew. I'll show you the finished product later on. I have to go to church now. Okay, here's the sewing machine, the Consew 227 cylinder arm, very heavy duty compound stitch walking foot machine. So here we see the 227, and it's really in nice shape. The paint is falling off of the Consew emblem. Just got done cleaning up all the controls there. And then we'll bring it down here, and there's the walking foot. Here's the long cylinder. The table is in nice shape. I just got done putting it back together again. I don't have all my things on here yet. So you see the table. The table is in nice shape with the ruler still here. I replaced the Consew motor because it was 220. So I grabbed one of my motors that's a 110, and this is the one that I ended up putting on. Now I lost it. So this is a 110, it's a half horsepower clutch motor, and it works fine. The only problem is when I first put this motor on, it spun, the shaft rotated clockwise, so the machine wouldn't work. This Consew operates in a counterclockwise fashion, so I had to take this motor off. There's my hand. I took that motor off and replaced it with this Singer down here on the floor, which has the correct rotation, and it's also a 110. So I got away from the 220. I do have the original 220 Consew motor. This is right here. So it says Consew right on it, I believe, somewhere. Consew, upside down, but Consew. So this is the motor that came with it. It's got a nice, very small reducer on it. Might be smaller than the one that I have, so I might put that on. So it's fired up. it's running. I'm just about to go through the threading process. If you're not familiar with the threading process on a 227, I'm using this little contraption here. You can see that it's seen better days. I haven't had a chance to get it all cleaned up and painted. But here's my outdoor thread. It comes straight up here, through here. There are 2 holes on this post. It goes through the top post, it comes around, and then it goes in the bottom post. Now, you should be able to see that I've got the thread running down through this first hole. And now we'll grab the thread and we'll try to get it in my hand, and I'm going to try to put it up the second hole, just like that. I'm going to put this, how can I do this? Put it on the stand would be nice. But I got it. Okay, so now it's down the first one, up the second one, and I'm going to put it down the third one. Sorry about this camera stuff. Now that I'm down through the third one, I'm going to put this on my camera stand. It just fell out. Okay. Mount it on my camera stand. And try to place it over here, positioned, so you can see what I'm doing. There's another console that I'm working on next, the green one. It's a 210. It's not a walking foot. Okay, so this is where we are. So the thread is coming down this third one. So from the spool into the stud, down the first one, up the second opening, down the third opening, and now we just laid across the tension discs. Oh, it's very poorly lit in here. Around the tension disc and onto the next one, which is spring fed. Then you pull this up and over to the side a little bit, and it gets caught on a tension spring. I don't know if you can see the tension spring, but right now when I pull up on this, you can see the tension spring pulling up. So now I just slip it behind this first thread catcher. The Consew goes counterclockwise when you rotate it. And I'm going to put it through this arm, if I can see it. Oh, I really need more light. There it is. Okay, so now we tug on it. We can see that the spring goes up. Down here we see that it's coming off of the feed. Right now it's stuck. And it's stuck over here on the feed. Okay. So we can put it back behind that first one again, this first clip, put it behind that second clip, put it behind the third clip. I'm not sure if you can still see where I am. Let's take a look here. So I'm going down, I'm going right to here. There's another opening. I have to move my camera. Okay, so the next part is right here. That's the needle and the walking foot, so it's just above the needle. So, try to eyeball it in there. And I got it. Okay, so now I pull that down, and now I have to adjust. Let's just drop that presser foot. presser foot out of the way, I should be able to get lucky, just like that. Push that through there. Now we've got that lined up. Now the next step is going to be look for the thread. I've already got the bobbin thread here, and it's ready to get knotted up with the first one. Okay, I hope you can watch this. Hope you can see it. So I'm going to rotate this by hand. Needle went down. Needle is coming up. And now I'm going to tug on this top string, top thread, and I just pulled up the bottom thread. I hope you could see what just happened. Hopefully you know what happens. And what happens is the thread comes down on the needle. The needle pushes the top thread up there, down here around the bobbin. The bobbin, when you put the bobbin in, the bobbin has to, when you pull on the thread, it spins it counterclockwise. And then you have to lay it in here through a groove. Well, here I can try to show you that now. So just in case we don't know what that looks like. Now, right here, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a tiny little separation in the metal. And that tiny separation in the metal is where you pull the thread down that's inside the bobbin. The thread goes down there, and then you use something like a screwdriver or scissors, and you guide the thread underneath this little pointy part, and you pull it off to the side and around to the back. Then when the needle goes down, it gets hooked on the timing, which is on this same unit. It spins around, it grabs the thread, and then it brings up the lower thread. So where we are right now is, I'll take this and I'll go right through the middle, and I still have the top thread. It didn't work. Okay, so since I didn't catch it correctly the first time, I have to grab the thread now by here, separately. I'm going to close that up, and now I've got two separate threads here. One is brown, one is black. I've got black down here in the bobbin. I've got brown as the top thread. So, we should be ready to roll. So, I'm going to grab a piece of my favorite blue jean material. As you can see, it's kind of cool looking, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure how much you can see. Okay, so this is what I use for practice. I like to practice different designs and different arcs and different radiuses and following along previous patterns. So, right now I'm not going to worry about any of that. I am just going to focus on making sure that I can put this in here and we have to do it with the needle up. Now this machine, and I'm going to drop the presser bar with the foot in back, with the presser foot lever in back, and cut off that thread and cut off this thread. I don't want too many competing threads here to throw me off. And I don't know where that one goes, so I'll put it in back. Okay. Now, I don't expect the tension to be correct, so the threading is not going to be correct. I mean, the threading is correct, I believe, but the tension is incorrect, which means it's not going to look good on the top or on the bottom. One of the two, maybe both. Okay, so I'm going to slow it down here with my hand, give it a shot, and let's see if it pulls the material through there. 1, 2, 3, come on, here goes the pedal. I feel pressure coming on the wheel. There it comes. Nice and slow. Come on, baby. Whoa! Slow down. What's your rush? Okay, here we go again. Slowly trying it. It doesn't want to go slow, it just wants to go full speed ahead. I have to sit down. It's too hard to have control. It's too hard for me to do any control work while I'm standing up. So here's my chair, and I'll see if you can still see everything. It appears that you can. Okay, and now I can see too. Look at all that room I've got now. My goodness. Okay, nice and easy. Let's see what happens. There we go. Slow and easy. I don't call that slow or easy. My goodness. That is like way too fast. Which is why I put the reducer on down there, but it's still way too fast. So, let's just see if we still have both lines connected. You know, sometimes you have to wiggle. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, and I've got too many lines here. Okay, so something didn't work out quite right. So I got four lines. There's that one. So we might be down to 2 now. Oh, and here's don't tell me that's my... Okay, so something isn't quite right. Okay, well at least I know it works to a degree. So this part works, now I just have to figure out what's going wrong here. And let's see, did I get a stitch on both sides? Here's a wire, here are threads on the bottom. You can't see it, they just blend in very nicely. But you might be able to see this. Those are brown threads. Here's the black thread. So you can see that this is the bobbin thread, and the bobbin thread is a very, I don't know if you can see it or not. Probably not. No, you can't. The bobbin thread did a nice job stitching. The pressure is just about where we need it to be. So now I just have to figure out how to unknot the upper thread, because the upper thread is a problem. And if we pull it over to the other side and look for the brown thread, wow, that looks good too. It's just a matter of I did something wrong with that. Okay, I'll check back again later. Okay, what I decided to do is open it up. Take a look at the inside. And the inside looks like that's got a pretty decent belt on it. And we can look all the way in there, and yeah, that does look nice. While I'm here, I'll oil up a little bit of places and put it back together. Just thought you might appreciate seeing the inside of this. So it says a Consew sewing belt. It appears to be in nice shape. I'm going to throw some silicone spray on it. just because I'm in here and it seems to be making a little bit of noise. So that just about wraps up this experiment. I'm still working on getting the threads worked out, proper sewing on it. A few more tries and I'll hopefully get another video out with it working properly. Until next time.